Welcome back. We're tracking current events with Mr. Akande, former presidential aide and host of Inside Sources.
Good morning, Kayla. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. All right, let's start off with the APC.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it was planned. Where the PDP are getting ready for neck, APC is getting ready for neck. What do you make of this? The newspaper headlines today are rife with conjecture. They're rife with ideas of who they think the national chairman. I'm looking at the blueprint. Is saying that Al-Makura, Gemade in line for the party's job. The Daily Trust had a different headline. Nentawe tipped to be chair of the APC. You know, so it's all over the place.
Right.
So what do you think is going to happen today?
Well, honestly, it's, I think that I think it is reasonable to expect that there will be a new chairman today.
You think so?
I think it's reasonable to expect that. And then, of course, you know, there was a meeting last night at the Villa, the president meeting with the governors of APC. I imagine trying to sort out what it is that he wants to do with the NEC today. I also know that normally before the National Executive Committee meeting, particularly that of APC that I witnessed where we were there, there's normally a caucus. There's normally a national caucus meeting that is held before the NEC. Well, I noticed that in this case, you know, there's no caucus, but you had the president meeting with the governors yesterday in the Villa, trying to sort out what is going to happen today. But I don't know where the you know, the thing is going to land. You know, but I think it's going to be helpful for the president to use the opportunity of this NEC to rally his party together, because there is quite a bit of an onslaught that has been that is in the works against APC.
You know, I was telling our first guest, it feels like I've seen this before. When one party empties into the other one, and it's the same. It has a rhythm to it. What usually happens is everyone empties into this one, or then everybody's interest has to clash here. Then it breaks down. Then you now start to splinter and start to form. So do you think that's going to happen with the APC as well? Or are they going to be able to manage these many interests that have come into the party? Oh,
well, you know, if you look at the APC, you can. It's easier to project what it is that is going to happen. We know who the head of the leader of the party is the president. They are in power, you know, so they don't really have so much of the political permutations and challenges. They do have their own, but it's not as much as the opposition.
The PDP used to be like this, remember?
Yeah, of course. No,
I'm
not denying that. I'm just saying that when you compare it with the opposition, they seem to get their ducks in a row much more, comparatively, than the opposition, where you don't even know, you know, whether Peter Obi is a member of ADC. You know, you don't know how Nigerians are going to take the idea of having a David Mark, you know, as the chairman of the opposition to rescue Nigeria. You know, they've lost the opportunity. I hope they can regain it, of using people like Kenneth Okonkwo. We needed new faces, but they still have old folks.
So you think Kenneth Okonkwo should be the spokesperson of the ADC?
If they had their strategic minds in the right place, that should be the face of the party.
Oh, Mr. Bolaji.
It should be people like that. Well, Mr. Bolaji does have experience also, but it's not a new face. And he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle more to attract Nigerians. Unlike Kenneth. Kenneth is a new face. He comes with a new, you know, narrative. That's the kind of person that should be your face. Right now, you have David Mark. Democratic credentials very low. Although there is also an Aregbe there who understands opposition politics, and you expect that he can give them some dose of what has to happen. But so far, the coalition has not done the job of even telling Nigeria. Where is the manifesto, for instance? We don't even know what the manifesto is about.
Mr. Bolaji said it's coming.
That's what they say. That's what they say. So they are not doing the things that they ought to do first. You know, the way we should have heard about this coalition is that this is what we are about, not that we just want to grab power. The impression now is that they just want to take Tinubu out. That is the dominant narrative that the
more power than governance.
And that's why I said that they don't have. I mean, that APC has better, you know, arrangement. You know, or they just have to.
Where do you think the APC should zone their leadership to?
of the chairman?
Yes.
Well, I think it's already zoned to the North Central.
Okay.
You know, and I think it's best that it is kept there because the president will ultimately have to pick his running mates from either the East or the West or the North. So it's best to keep the chairmanship where it is, where it ought to be, which is North Central. I mean, of course, it was moved to Northwest because the president wanted Ganduje.
Yes.
Now that is out of the way. It will make sense to just bring the chairmanship back to North Central.
All right, so let's move on to the Labour Party. Yesterday we had the running mate of Peter Obi, Mr. Dati Ahmed. We had him on one of our programs. It's been trending online. Some of the things that he said, one of the things that he says that Obi can contest without me and whatnot. And then, of course, reference to who the leadership, who's in charge of the Labour Party. And you know, the Nenadi Usman-led, well, we don't know if we can call it a faction anymore because they said she's the interim chairman of the party. And they released a statement yesterday where they were not really condemning what he said, but they said this is his opinion and shouldn't be mistaken to be what the truth is about the situation, because for them, the truth is that Nenadi Usman is the interim chair of the Labour Party, and they'll be looking forward to having their own NEC meetings and their own you know, congresses and whatnot, so they can get their ducks in a row and get ready for 2027. What do you make of this situation in Labour Party? Mr. Dati Ahmed yesterday said he's a peacemaker. Is he making peace?
Actually, you know, and of course, we're just giving them free advice today.
Yes, let's help.
If the coalition were serious, you should have a Dati Ahmed leading the coalition.
Oh, Dati Ahmed is not a member of the coalition. He says he's a member of the Labour Party.
Well, he went to the...
he attended the event, but he's not going to
So
the
if they are
APC.
serious, that's the kind of person, you know, that's the kind of face that you show Nigerians. That is how you can begin to convince the people that this is different. What they have done so far is just to regurgitate the old thing. And I think that if that's the game, I don't see them beating Bola Ahmed Tinubu in that game. I don't think they can. If this is all they are going to do, it's going to be pretty difficult to beat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in this game. You need to bring new faces. Dati Ahmed, Kenneth Okonkwo, those are the people that people can say, okay, let's take a listen. And then all of you old guys will be in the background.
Who's going to be in the background? Amechi that went to Rivers and was doing a whole whole campaign in the background of who? Who's going to be in whose background?
It doesn't necessarily mean who is emerging as the presidential candidate. You first of all need to create a space for Nigerians to even give you a thought to say that, okay, let us look at what these people are saying objectively. But they haven't given that kind of face. We have David Mark, we have, you know, old folks are the ones seem to be running the show. That doesn't inspire any new kind of confidence.
Those people that we saw in River State looked organic. They look very happy to see Mr. Rotimi Amechi, and it means he still has his base.
It's Mr. Amechi himself and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar were the ones who told us right here in Abuja about a month ago how it is that those crowds are purchased. So you know, I mean, some of this stuff, people already know what it is. And part of our own job as objective analysis is that we need to reduce the gullibility of Nigerian people.
You don't think this was an organic crowd? You think it was a purchase crowd?
I don't know whether it's purchased or not, but I'm saying that Amechi himself and Atiku, they have told us how it is that they buy these crowds.
In fact, he said something at that event where he said we know how to write numbers for election.
Well, yeah, you know,
that was so shocking to hear.
So
because even though we have ideas that these things happen, to come out and actually say that that's what's been going on, did you benefit from that, Mr. Rotimi Amechi? And can you speak up against it if you were a beneficiary? Who are the people who were doing it? Can we call them and get them to be arrested and get justice to be served? Is that something he can do?
Exactly. So you just made the point that I'm saying that, look, this is not new. This coalition politics is not, it's just the old thing. You know, I would be surprised if Nigerians will be taken in by this seeming shenanigans again. We need something fresh than this. If we are going to go against what it is, what today is the establishment, the characters that we are seeing in the forefront, they are not the ones that can get the job done. Because Nigerians are not going to be inspired by the same old politics of personal aggrandizement. That is what it seems today. And that's why you have to give kudos to somebody like Omoyele Sowore, who is actually trying to say that, look, we can do these things differently. And I wish someone like him, we have some base, really grassroots support, but it's not happening because we haven't really gotten to that point when we can get the critical mass of the silent majority. Nigerians need to get involved, step up their game if there is going to be a change. If these are the characters that we are dealing with, then we prepare for a long haul of the same hole, same hole.
Back to Dati Ahmed. He says Obi can contest without me. I want to get the response here from the Labour Party, Mr. Ken Eluma Asogwa. He's a senior special advisor media to the interim national chairman of Labour Party, Senator Nenadi Usman, and I want to be able to see what they said. While the party respects the rights of Dr. Baba Ahmed and other members to hold personal views, it's important to remember that the acceptance of and adherence to the finality of the judgments of the Supreme Court has never been and never will be a matter of choice, but compulsion. The Labour Party is bound by that finality and expects all members to align accordingly. We acknowledge Dr. Baba Ahmed's stated intention to foster reconciliation within the party, that in itself is commendable. However, such efforts must be rooted in truth, guided by the respect for the rule of law, and anchored on the existing legal realities. Is the Labour Party going to be able to get themselves together?
I think so. I mean, the move that Mr. Dati Ahmed made is quite very commendable. And that raises the hope. And I also like what they said, that, look, Labour Party is not the kind of party that you want to die. I mean, look at what the stunt it pulled in 2023. So hopefully they can get it together.
How did that go so bad? How did it go so awry? Remember where it was?
Yeah.
The APC was shaking in his boots.
Yeah. I mean,
even as journalists, we were watching.
Is
this happening? Is this happening?
Yeah, I mean,
the last time we saw something move so strongly like that was when Buhari came in, when he took over from Goodluck Jonathan in 2015, and we're looking at it. Oh, could this be happening again? And then all of a sudden.
Yeah. And
can they get that back? Is it gone?
Where?
Because I think Mr. Peter Obi still has the obedience
behind him.
Yeah. But then there are other factors now, aren't there?
Well, like I said, what Dati Ahmed has started to do is very commendable if they can sort out, their differences. And I think it's something, I don't see any compelling reason why they can't. But the real point that we shouldn't miss out.
Oh, sorry, I don't want us to lose that point. The fact that he actually attended the meeting that was convened by the former national chairman of the party, at least that's how he's been referred to, that's Barrister Julius Abure, and he was alleged to have referred to Barrister Abure as a substantive national chairman of the party. So that's where the issue is. So even though he's doing reconciliation, there's still that issue of who's the actual national chairman of that party, and is he right in calling Barrister Abure the substantive national chairman of the party? That's where the issue is, because the Nenadi Usman part of the Labour Party say, look, that's not correct.
Well, I think he said that he's trying to be a peacemaker.
Is he being a peacemaker by doing this?
I think what the totality of his move is trying to make peace, and if they can find a way to tidy up their differences, I think they have a better chance of really leading a reasonable opposition, because that's what we are interested in. Look, we're not interested in all these pranks that politicians play anymore. It's not going to go anywhere. Now, the bad news is that most Nigerians today, there's a lot of dissent. People don't like where the country is. Now, some of it because of the tough decisions that this president has taken, which many of us agree has to be taken, but because you don't find a lot of succor, we don't seem to see a lot of anti-poverty measures. We don't seem to see a lot of fighting against corruption. You don't see people, the poor people being taken care of. Okay, so there is a disconnect. And while the APC is meeting today, what they ought to do is also to see, okay, look, there are still 2 more years. We can fix this. If they don't, the opposition has to also get its act in order.
Speaking
and the
of the
way for them to get their act in order is to do things in a new way.
Speaking of the opposition, let's see if we can close on this one. The People's Democratic Party. So while they have all these meetings, the next meeting, they're getting ready for all the things that are going to happen to typical political party gatherings. One question that's been at the back of the minds of many Nigerians is this party serious? You are addressing people who are doing anti-party activity, but there's no actual discipline.
Yeah.
There's no disciplinary measure being taken. You also have a situation where you have people in your party who are working for another party.
Yeah.
Nothing, no discipline from there. How do you want people to trust you? How do you want people to believe that you're a party that can ensure that if I was a politician, for instance, how can you ensure that my political career is protected? If there are people that can be doing all kinds of things and there's no discipline for them, how do I know that I can survive in this party? What happens to my career here? What do you make of that? And all these statements that we hear Mr. Damagum saying, we hear all of them, but we've heard them before. Yeah. No actual action afterwards.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that the combination of what Atiku Abubakar did in 2023, running against the grain of rotational presidency, putting himself up as a northerner, compelling, winning, yeah, and then refusing to do what he ought to do by shifting the chairmanship to the south after he had emerged. The combination of that and, the combination of what Mr. Nyesom Wike did in response to what happened, I think both of them, between Wike and Atiku, they must be responsible for the death of PDP. And so all these things that Damago is talking about is just, those are just narratives of burial. They are narrative of the funeral of PDP. We must take the responsibility to Atiku and Wike. They combine to kill PDP. That's the way it is.
Well, I want to thank you very much for being with us on the program. I mean, it's a good place to anchor. It's Mr. Laolu Akande, former presidential aide and host of Inside Sources. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's Sunrise Daily this morning. Thank you all so much for making us a part of your morning and being a part of the conversations that we have here. We will take our time to start getting your messages together and start reading out those messages. We'll do that. We'll work towards that. But have a great, great day ahead. I'm Kayla Megwa.
Business Morning is on the hour. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm Ayo Makinde.